welcome back. We're going to do hopefully the last segment, and this is the decorating segment. So however much we get done in the next video, that will be the decorating. Let's hope I can bring it down to a decent amount of time. Alright, so I'm going to just say hello and welcome back. If you're here, this would probably be part 2, and the first part I showed you how to put the basic structure together. We made the cover and the various layers using the envelopes in between. So that's what we did last time, and I will put the link below this video for you to have a look at how I went about doing that. Now today we're going to do the decorating of the inside of this little folio. So let's get straight to it. Right, so we did the base, and everything is done there. All I've done here is made a couple of fold lines, and I'm going to give you the measurements for doing that. Now, as you will remember, we looked at it's about 11 inches across here, or 28.5 centimeters. Now I've made the first fold line at the 11.2 centimeter mark. In inches, that is, oh, I've got the wrong ruler. Sorry about that. All right, so we've made the first indent at just short of 4.5 inches. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we're looking at about, not great with the inches, so I would say it's 1, 2, 4 and 3/8 of an inch across there, and 4 3/4 or 4 7/8 over there. All right, so you've got a little gap in between. If I do that in centimeters, you have got 11.2 centimeters and 12.4 centimeters are the two marks. And then all I've done is taken my ruler, my bone folder, and gone like that across the two lines. That is then going to be your little spine that we're going to sew in our little one signature here. Right, so then I just took each one and like over here, folded it on there and used my bone folder just to ensure that those lines were in the right place. Okay, so that's all I've done there, which I have done already. Okay, so we've got that all sorted. What we want to do now is let's decorate the front cover here. So we're going to get straight onto that. Now I've got loads of stuff here. Let's just move some of it around. Okay, so the first thing that you want is got you to cut out all the pockets and things. We're going to put this pocket over here. So that's the very first thing we're going to do, and that just means me using my bone folder again. I just want to get a quick fold line. You don't have to do this, you can just fold it straight over. This just gives me a little indication of where to fold it, and I quite like that, so we're going to do that really quickly like that. Okay, and like that, and then we're going to just take our glue and we're going to put it onto the little flap marks here ever so quickly, and we are going to just stick that. I had it just on this line over here like that. Okay, so you don't want to go too close to your fold line, so just be wary of that. Yeah, and that's where we want that. So there's that done, all done. Right, I decorated this up, and what I did here was I had a couple of die cuts, so I just want to grab those quickly. The one I've broken in half, so I'll show you how I cope. I thought, no, this is a good exercise to show you what I do when I've broken something. Right, so what I did was I've cut this out in some cardstock. It's a little one of the Holtz Wildflower dies. So I could have got my little brush to do that, And really, I should have done it already. Okay, so we've got that one. Then I've cut out this from a scrap of paper. It's got some greens in it. You can see I broke the top off, but I will realign it. And then I've just got this little one, which is just a little leaf die that I've had. It's got no brand, and I like using it a lot. So those are the three there. And then what I'm going to do is, which I'm going to show, which you would have seen in another video of mine, is made one of these little flowers. And that's going to go just at the bottom over there. All right, so let's get layering up here. The first thing I want to do is stick down this. So I'm probably going to speed this up. Right, so we've laid up those three there. You just got the little daisies. I don't know if they're called daisies really. Now I'm going to take this little fabric flower. I'm going to use some of my 3-in-1. I'm just going to put that over the middle and little bits sort of striating out, if that's a good word. Like that. And we're going to just stick that down right over there. I would have liked to have made that flower a bit smaller, but there we have it. And then it's just a case of taking one of the purple butterflies, and I'm going to just stick that on as well. That's just going to bring a little bit more of the purple in, so don't want to exceed the edge of that pocket. All right, now you can stick a pearl on there as well if you like. Okay, we'll get to loading up all the ephemera at the end, so I'm not going to do that now. Right, I didn't have anything on the back cover, so we're pretty much done with the cover. I'm going to put that aside, just over there. Right, now let's get on to this little page over here. So we're going to do this page now. So we're going to work on this envelope completely. So as you know, let me show you with the actual, what I've done is I like to pre-cut all my papers out. Even when I'm working, it helps me see the various colors and layers. I just keep them together with a bunch of these large paper clips, so it just helps me to see what I'm doing. Now as far as this envelope is concerned, I'm going to take the rest of this out, and you can see I have now used this piece of paper, which we cut to a page, and I've put half of it there and half of it there. Now you do have a slight gap, but it doesn't matter. I will be making, what I did was I stuck it closer to the opening, which is on sorry, the side, the openings are at the top. I stuck it closer to the edge that's going to be at the front there. That's towards the spine. Okay, so that's what I did there. And then on the inside, this piece of paper goes together. I've measured it out as well. This is the one that says climbers, and I've cut a piece for each side there. All right, so I'm going to turn this over. We want to get this stuck down, so I will quickly stick all of that down, and then we can decorate. All right, so it's just a case of taking these off, turning this over, and sticking this down. Now you can use your sewing machine and sew around the edge. I did with my other one. I'm not going to do it with this one, but I thought that I would mention that that's an option. You know, if you want to do that, go right ahead, and it gives it a lovely finish. I'll show you what I mean with the other one when I've stuck these down. Okay, so it's just a case of get it close to the edge like that, and we can then just stick that down. Okay, the other thing you must make sure is just make sure that the opening is at the top when you're sticking these things down. These are all the things I've lived and learned in my lifetime already. Okay, so we're going to do the same with the other side. Alright, so we finished gluing on that side, and we have finished gluing on that side, so you are pretty much done there. Right, so just a few little things that I put together. I had stamped a little word, joyful, which I'm going to just stick on the bottom here of the one page, so that I just stuck down there. And then I put a few of the fussy cuts on this page. Oops, just like that. So I'm always full of glue and ink and all sorts of things. Right, and then I just stuck two little fussy cuts over here. So also this one I've cut out from the purple page, so it's this piece of paper that comes from the kit. I've cut them out from there, as you can see. Beautiful shade to go with the rest of your decorating here. So I've used a lot of the scraps from the edges of these pages and things, and use them to make out my little decorations. Right, so this one I've taken from a scrap. This is from Artie Bayes, one of the green pieces from one of her kits. I can't remember which one, but it's been lying there, so I've used that. So I'm just going to just see, I think I'm going to have the purple one higher and that one lower, so that's what I did there. Okay, so that's what I've done with there. I'm just going to put, oops, a little piece of washi tape. So this is just a little bit of script washi tape that I like to use, and I'm just going to take a little bit off here, and I just like to tear it, so like that. And then I do put a bit of glue on it, because it's not, can't be counted on not to come up, so I like it to stick down forever. And this glue does do forever, so we're just going to have a little bit of that there. Okay, so that's that side. Now for the inside, all I did here for this bit there, I made a little ruffle from that same purple fabric, and I've stitched it just like that. You can even stitch this by hand. I have done that and it looks so pretty as well, but I'm into speed today. Right, so I'm going to stick that just over here like that. So we're going to do that. Let's stick that down quickly. Oh, you got to love this art glitter glue, so quick. Right, so we'll stick that down just over there, not too close to the middle. And then I took another piece of, and I don't even remember, I think I was gifted this. Was it you, Carol? Could have been, because she sent me a few, and I do love this one, so I'm a bit tight with using it, but I thought it was perfect for this, so here is where it's going. I didn't have any other purple washi, so this one is the one. We just put a little piece across there. That one's going a bit far, but never mind. Oh, no, not yet. Sorry. Let's just pull that up again. And then I stuck down my two more little die cuts. So I've got this little green one from a piece of green card scrapbook paper that I've had lying in my scrap pile, and I tell you, getting your scraps out and making loads of things is one of my favorite things to do. I do love doing that. Right, so we've got this over here, and I got this one as well, and I'm going to just put a little piece there just to bring in a little bit of the purple. So I'm going to just cut it off there. Loving all these colors. the greens. I mean, even the teal looks so beautiful with this, doesn't it? There are little bits of teal here and there and pink. So pretty. Right, so we've got that there, and then this goes over that. So we'll just put a little bit more glue just to make sure it sticks, like little polka dots of glue. And then that's that side done. So really easily done. Okay, I'll just press that down. Right, let's get on to this side now. So now this side was really easy, and you will see I will have a little video out on how I did these, so I will link that in the description box. And just a little recap, it was a little double-sided altered paper clip, which I've used from scraps, everything from the kit except for my little stamped word there. That's how it looks on the one side, and on the other side, this is a cookie box. I've got that little bit over there. Alright, so if you go and have a look at my little video, you'll see how I put this together. Right, so this then just slides very neatly over there, like that, and there you can see you've got your little one on that side, and then it just sort of lifts that page on that side there. So I quite like those. And all, again, little scraps that I've had. So that's that little bit done. We can put that aside. All right, so that's over there. Okay, now we want to get to the next level. So that's this envelope over here. So this is all together, so we'll have to just keep it together. Now I have, as I said, put all the bits together that you need. Right, so the outside of your first envelope here, what I did was I cut a base from this piece that I showed you before, which is the Embroidered Garden digital. So the links are all in the description box below. We're going to stick that down there straight away. So let's just remove this back section so that we can do this nice and smoothly. So this is for the over the page. So sorry. Right, so this bit here is going to be stuck down onto that edge there, so I'm going to do that ever so quickly. So you just want to make sure that you get it pretty even and pretty quickly. All right, okay, so we've got that all down. Now what I did was, you can see I've tried to prepare things that was in there. This is half of that page there with the beautiful gate, and I've cut out, using my die cut, a heart die in this case, you can use a circle, whatever you have, a little window out the top there, and we're going to use this piece, so don't throw it away. And then I have just stitched around. Now I've made it, if you have a look, ever so slightly smaller than the piece that it's going to be stuck on, and you can see that other window coming through over there. All right, so what we're going to do is I'm going to get a little piece of acetate, and all we want is a little piece that's going to cover that area there. So the easy way to do this, in my sort of experience, is measure it up for the top and then just draw a line where you need to cut across, because it is really hard to see the acetate. So all I'm going to do here is just cut this straight across. I'm not going to see the line, obviously. That's the piece I'm going to use. And I might just give it a little bit more of a trim on this side because I don't need such a huge piece. Sorry for the glue and ink all over my hands. Right, now we're going to just take this and we're going to stick it to the underside. So the best is just to do this directly on the shape itself. Okay, so there we go, match it to the top, and there you have it. Right, so there you can see I've just stuck that down like that, and you can see it coming through like that. Okay, you don't have to do that, that's just me. Right, so now what we want to do is, again, we're going to use a little butterfly, So here it is, the little butterfly. I've cut out quite a few. I've printed quite a few. Right, so there we go. We're going to find where exactly we want to place this before we do place it. So that's where I need to go. So where I had it is almost perfect, just need to move it slightly over. So let's just see here. Yeah, pretty much there, like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to glue the one side of the wings, and we're going to just hold that down, make a double check that you have it where you want it, and that looks about right. Yeah, and then you can go and glue the other wings down. I'm sure there's an easier way to do this. This is just my way of doing this. All right, so there we go. And if you want, you can draw on, Nelly said antlers, the little feelers. So if you want to, so we have one there, not the best feeler, and we have one there. Okay, like that. Okay, right, and now we can just glue this all down. As I said, I had stitched around this one. It's not a requirement, but if you want to, it does give a nice decorative edge. If you've got a sewing machine, go for it. Don't be afraid. It's only paper. You can always cut it out and do it again. Right, so there we have this now. We're going to just be decisive and get this lined up. A little bit more down. That looks about right. And there we have it. We've got our little window all done. Those are the little teal pieces that I was saying to you I thought went so beautifully well with that. Okay, so there's your little window. So that's all done. We will put in our journal card in there when it comes to that piece. So just make sure it's all stuck down really nicely. Right, on the inside here now, we had our little envelope stuck on there, and we'll get to this bit next, but we want to just do this little piece over here. So what I've done is I've got 2 scraps from that sheet that I showed you earlier with the dots on. I've just torn 1-inch wide pieces to the length of my opening for my envelope, which is there to there. So it's going to line up with these, slightly longer actually. I will trim them down. So let's do that. We want this to match up, so we are just going to cut off the end there, and this one needs to be the other way around, so we can just cut off the other end. So let's just measure that there and then just cut off the other end. Okay, so there we go, and then you can easily just give that a little bit of a distress ink. Right, take off this. We got a collection here. I use them a lot, so they are great to use. I did that because, as you can see, this piece is a little bit shorter than the envelope that I'm using, so that's why I have gone and stuck on these other bits, and I'll show you how I'll sort of bring it all together in a minute. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to stick this down. Okay, you've stuck that down like that. Do make sure when you cut out your this piece here that it's not going to go too far into the small envelope's little fold line, because you want this piece to lie flat. Okay, so just make me mindful of that. I'd like to buff mine up right to the edge here so that it strengthens that edge as well. Okay, so I'm going to quickly just stick these down. These are going to just cover up the end bit. Okay, so we've got one over here. Okay, right. Okay, so that's that page there. Now the only thing I did here, sort of to blend them in a little bit, was you get a couple of labels from the kit. They haven't got this on. I've just taken one of my little stamps, used my purple ink and stamped on a little number there, but that's one of the labels. You would have seen I've used another one with the paper clip. So I've just stamped that there, and I'm going to just glue this down as well. You could put even more collaging, use one of the stamps, you could do whatever you like, but I just wanted to stick that over there, sort of bringing these two layers together. All right, so that's there. And then the other thing I stuck down here was this little goodie, which really I should have stuck underneath here, but never mind, we'll stick it over, and I'll just take the little stalk off. There we go. So that's another one of those wildflower dies. I do have quite a few of them. I'll try and remember to put the codes for all my wildflower kits dies from Sizzix, these dies, the numbers and detail in my description box for you. Okay, so we're going to just stick that over the ticket slightly, and then I'm just holding the top one. Sometimes these can be a pain to maneuver, but there we go, it's done now. All right, so there's that page done. Okay, so we'll get to this page now. This was again the small little envelope. I have just fussy cut this out of one of the edge pieces that I trimmed off. Okay, so that's that. And then this little pocket here, these two went like that, so I've just cut them in half. All right, so this one is going to go on here, and I'll be very mindful that with my envelope, the opening is like a card opening. You don't want to glue on there, otherwise your card won't fit in. So what you need to do is put your glue on your actual envelope in this case, and especially around this area, and then the rest of it you can carry on doing the edges. Okay. Okay, so it was, yeah, that's it. Okay, we just grip this, and we'll just measure up the edges like that. There we go. And that should enable us to now put our little card in. Again, I have just used some very light little die cuts. Again, this is from the Artie Mays pattern paper, and this is just the scrap of purple that I keep going back to from this kit. Okay, so I'm going to just stick these down. Now I did trim this one a little bit, I think. So this one is, I'm going to put it this side, I think. So I'm going to just trim off a little snippet there. Alright, and then again I've just used some of this beautiful little washi tape. Use whichever one you have. I would have loved a nice little gingham one, really. Purple gingham one. So I'm just putting that on the end there. And I'm going to just tuck this bit. Gluing those sides together. Right, so like that. Okay. Gosh, I'm full of glue. Sorry, I'm full of glue. Hands look horrendous. Okay, there we go. So we've got that sorted. Now on this side, I put quite a few things on here. Now the first thing I did was I took a piece of lace. This is quite a wide lace. It's the widest one I had, so it's 2.5 inches or 7 centimeters. Okay, so I have got this just peeking over the edge of that envelope like that. So I'm going to take my 3-in-1 glue and I'm going to just put the glue on here like that. Mindful not to go too close to the edge of the opening, just like that. So we'll do that, and then it's just a case of laying that over. I don't want to lay it over too far. I made the mistake with my other one, I think. There we go. Which is not a mistake, but you live and learn as you do these things. And then what I did was I had a little ruffle, and what I did here was I just put a little bit of the ruffle, and I'm going to actually, I think with this one I'm going to put it on the edge here of, not underneath, so I'm going to put it on top. This is just some Liberty of London fabric, which I love, and I just thought the colors went really well and brought in a little bit of the blues and teals, so I quite like that. So I'm just going to see how long I want this. Just want to trim off a little bit here. I'm going to cut it off just over there. I think that's enough. Okay, so we're going to stick this down first. Let's use the Fabri-Tac. I'm going to put that on there. Now on this side we don't have to worry about an opening of an envelope, so you know, you can use liberal amounts. So we got that bit there, and I'm going to just run this a little bit over like that, so you can still see the lace peeking out, but we've just got that stuck over like that. Okay, all right, make sure you haven't stuck it to, I don't think it's too thick for that, but you don't want to stick it to the page below. Okay, there we go. Right, and then this is where that little cutout, which was from one of the edge pieces that I didn't use, so you'll see when you're cutting this all out, and I'm going to just put that over there like that. I thought that looked quite nice. Okay, so we'll stick that down as well. Okay, so let's just move that and put it over like that. All right, so we're making good progress here. Right, so now, oops, what we're going to do is, this one was sweet and simple, so I can just stick that straight down, so we'll do that. Let's do that piece there, and that's beautiful irises, so I didn't want to do anything to that piece. Okay, so we've stuck that piece down, and that's gorgeous, and we didn't have to do anything to that page, so I'm quite happy with that. Right, turning over, on the inside of this square envelope that we stuck down, I've got this piece, which is, this was on that side of it, and that was on that side of it. So I've cut off a piece to go on there, and you can see I've put it onto that, this paper again, just to, you know, give it some strength. Not that it needs it because we've got that there, but I just like that look. So I'm going to stick that on, but I'm going to stick this down first. So before I do that, I wanted to stick this section down. So that's fine. Now what I did here was, is you can use glue, but I just found that because you folded this, I wanted to make sure I had enough strength to hold this flap down, and the best way to do that, in my opinion, is just to use double-sided tape. So I resorted to that. I'll just cut that off. Okay, so this is just double-sided tape, and it's not very broad. You can get this anywhere. And then it's just a case of getting off that there and that there. Okay, so let's stick that down like that. Okay, right, so you've got that bit done. Now you can very quickly just go and run your distress ink on here if you like, but I don't think it's you're going to see much of this edge anyway. Right, so we've got this all sorted. That's the right way up. I almost stuck it down on the wrong side, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the glue directly on here. Only doing that because I don't want to stick it onto here and seal up the opening that I've just created. So we're going to do that. Like that. Right, and now we can just check that I've got that right, and a little bit down, a little bit up. There we go. Is that right there? It is right. We can press it down. Okay, there we go. So that's that bit done now. Right, we're doing marvelously now. Right, on this bit with the two little envelopes, again, I've taken this piece of paper. You can see it marries up there, and I have cut it in half. And once I cut it in half, I then cut out these two pieces to fit each one of these, and then cut off the side. So that's what I've done there. So I will stick these down quickly as well. All right, so we've done those. I'm going to just do the same. Now on the back, as you know, I use this beautiful paper, two of those. We're going to stick that down on there very quickly as well. All right, so we've done those fit in there, and now we are on to the other side of the big envelope. So the one that we're doing on the outside there. Okay, so I did tuck those in there like that, and what we should do really is just put a little bit of glue on here and get these stuck into place. All right, so let's do that first. So just make sure that you do have the right one at the top, and then before you press it down, make sure that you're not too close to the edge of that fold line there. So yeah, I hope that I've got that in the right spot. And then this one just comes together there. So in actual fact, I do need to move this up a bit. So let's just loosen that up. You see, this is what happens. I'm going to have to do that again now. We put some glue on there, and we want to just get that in a little bit closer to the top, like that. And there we go. Make sure you've got it lined up. Okay, and then this one will go in just there. That's easier to do the second one. The first one's a little bit tricky. So again, we want to just lift this up and make sure that we've got that where we want it, and then we can just stick it down. Okay, so there we go. It's an absolute hair's width length between the two here, just so that they can flap properly. Alright, so you've got those down there, and we're not going to put anything on there because isn't that just such a beautiful sight? We will put something on the back here, but what I want to do quickly is just stick this piece on. Now this is a backing page from the Shabby Pink Floral Kit, the very first kit I bought from chapter 1, and the link is in the description box, but obviously you can use any kind of paper that you choose, so you know, it's up to you. Right. So let's stick this down quickly as well. And you want to get that close to the edge there. Move it down a bit. Just trying to line everything up. Not easy with art glitter glue because I'm not very forgiving. Alright, so we've got that in place. Alright, so we've done all of that. Now, cut out one of these slot dies from Tim Holtz, stuck on one of the scraps of paper that have this wording on it, if you can see. So that's what I've done there, and I will just give it a very light dusting here. Right, so what we're going to do is hold it on the top and stick down that side there, and that side there. When I first did this, I stuck all 4 sides. I didn't understand how it sort of worked, but you live and learn, don't you? Okay, now you want to get this like that. Now it's slightly over because I am going to put a couple of flowers on this side here, so that's why I've done that. Alright, so I did have a few bits and bobs to go this side. Okay, so as you can see, this one comes from a scrap from one of the pieces of paper, and I just love how these scraps have worked out with the die cuts. So, you know, don't be afraid to use pieces of paper. This is just a piece of paper, and yeah, they are delicate, but look how beautiful that looks. Alright, so now we're going to stick on this little bit here. Okie dokes. So I'll have this one going a little bit more this way. Okay, so there's that, and then again I'm just going to take a little bit of washi. I like to do it over the stalks because the stalks have such a small amount of glue. You want to make sure that you, besides being decorative, that it actually does keep it in place. So that's my sort of excuse. Alright, so we've got that there. Oh, look, this one's lifting up. So, okay, so we'll get to the decorating at the very, very end. Okay, that's that there. Right, now we want to get to this last back page here. And this is the piece, this is the page that I've actually put down to go on here. Now we are going to have a little tuck spot here. So again, this is part of a 2-piece that looks like that. It is shorter, so we are going to put some other bits down. So I'm going to glue this down. And then what I've done here is I've taken that embroidered paper that was from the kit I used earlier for the butterfly heart cutout, and we're going to just stick down 2 strips of this about 1 inch wide. You can make it, this doesn't need to be that wide, it could be narrower, but it's just to cover up the bits here, and it looks like a nice little collage. So there we go. Don't worry about the end because that's going to be covered. Alright, so there we have that in place. Then what I did was I've just taken a piece of card, very thin card really, so scrap. I've used that beautiful purple paper, and I've cut out 1.5 inches or 4 centimeters in width and the length of my envelope there, and I'm going to just stick that down like that on those 3 sides. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to resort back to my double-sided tape here, because I think that it's just going to make sure that it does stay in place rather than holding down the glue. So just putting it on 3 sides. Okay, so you can see I've got it on 3 sides there. That's the side we don't want it on, although I've gone and put it on that side. Okay, so we've got that there, and now we're going to just stick this down. Like that. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is, just so that I don't affect this later on, I'm going to just cut off this little extension bit on the flower. Okay, so you've got your little tuck spot in there now. All right, so I think what I'm going to do is we've done the back page. We've got that all together like that, and then that's going to go collectively into our little folio like that. Okay, so I think I'm going to leave this episode here because this is quite a long episode, and what I'm going to do in the next one is I'm going to show you how I bind it into here, finish off the clasp, and then add all the ephemera. So that'll be our last episode. So I do hope you've enjoyed doing everything here. Cut out your tags, cut out your journal cards, and make sure that you've got everything that you need ready for the next episode. And thank you for following along with me. I hope you're having a ball with this. It's going to make a gorgeous gift, either to yourself or for someone else really special. And remember, you can do this in so many different themes. All right, lovely to have you along with me again, and thank you guys so much. I'll see you very soon. Bye-bye.